All right, we're looking at the OpenWeatherMap API tutorial program. We are going to start with the challenge. So you can add emojis, but this actually is an emoji library that is built into Python. So we are going to go to that location. And if you you don't have to click on this, you can go to the internet and do a search for Python emoji, because that's the name of the library. And PyPy is like the source for all kinds and bunches of different libraries. Oh, okay. I was going to say that's the one I was using, but there's apparently others. Yeah. So this is a library, and we've done this before. PIP install emoji. When you find the actual library page, it'll usually have a little bit of documentation here. Sometimes there isn't very much documentation. Sometimes they have a whole other website that has the documentation. Here's the funnest one. It shows how to put in each of these emojis. Sometimes when you copy and paste emojis, like Hope did something with one of her programs, it was very cute. It doesn't always come out right. Sometimes you get weird stuff, but with this, it's part of the Python package, so it looks beautiful every time. And yeah, there's only just a few things to choose from. Okay, I can take 3 or 4 days and scroll through this, but I'm not going to. So the first thing we need to do is install the library. Well, we want to bring up our command prompt and pay no attention that I'm using the terminal one. That's just, I'm used to being an administrator. You can just bring up your regular ordinary command prompt, start CMD, PIP install emoji, because if you type it in an S, that's probably a totally different library. When you press enter, and if it says, oh, I can't find this package, then you know you've typed in the wrong thing. But no, we got the right thing. So there's our library. Another part that I've forgotten, that I don't think I have it somewhere, but I can't remember where it is. Over time, Python comes out with new versions. So on these computers, the version is 13.2. Well, going from 13.2 to 13.3 rarely breaks anything. If you're going from 13 to 14, which will be next, yes, I would wait before you do that, because it'll break a bunch of libraries, and then eventually they get it all sorted out. But to date, I've not had any trouble with just keeping up to date with Python. And why would you want to keep up to date with the current software? Just because you can? Yep, they fix and bugs. They fix all kinds of stuff. Whenever they put out this is like a security update. So it's at Python 3.13.3. Since it's the same major version, which is 3.13, it'll just go right on top of it. When you do a major version change, then things can get messed up. But 0.3 is a security bug fix release. So it wouldn't hurt, because this will go on top of your old one and keep it up to date. The other thing that can get out of date is your libraries. So if we do PIP list -O, and you can think of O as meaning outdated, that will list all of your outdated packages. And yes, sometimes when you upgrade a package, it destroys something else. It's like any updates on anything. Holy smokes, I haven't ever updated my computer, have I? So for instance, if you're doing the Pygame thing, well, they have a little point release. So this is called I don't remember what it is, but 2 would be like the gigantic major version. This would be a minor version. This would be the minor version, yes, because there's 3 spots. You could look that up. Is there anything? Oh, Rich has just updated a bunch of stuff. So let's update that. PIP install Rich. But if you do that, it's not going to work. You have to know the secret code. You have to say -U, and it's a capital U, which says upgrade that library. And when you press enter, it's going to do a bunch of buzzing and whirring. And part of that is going to be uninstalling the old library and reinstalling the new library. And again, these would be bug fixes and security fixes and, all kinds of stuff like that. So -O shows you what's out to date. My PIP list -O shows you what's out of date. PIP install, just like you'd install it, but with a -U, capital U, it'll upgrade it.
It's what?
So,
Oh, I should zoom in, shouldn't I? Because I can see it just fine.
so for each of the libraries, you have to do,
Yeah, there's not a way to update everything all at once. They haven't done that yet.
Sorry, what did you say about the U again?
capital U
Yeah. What did you say about the capital U again?
update.
Capital U update. If I just run this without that, it's gonna say we already have one.
Okay.
So you do PIP. Oh, I installed them. There it is. List minus lowercase o, and that finds everything that's out of date. And then it compares the old version with the new version. I'll see Rich went from 13 to 14, and sometimes when you get a major update, it can break things. In this case, I've already done this at home, so I know it worked fine. But it doesn't happen very often that you get things exploding, but it can. And then you figure it out, and that's part of being in IT is all the excitement, stuff, things being broken. Oh, that reminds me. I wish I'd gotten a good recording, and I wish okay, so now we have our emoji library. We know how to update things. Now let's integrate emojis into our program. So if we install a library, does that get it into our program?
No.
And how do we know what to do? Well, we bring up the little page that has this is the emojis. I don't need that right now. But usually there'll be enough in here or in the documentation to get you started. Which I haven't really actually looked at this yet. There we go. So when you're printing something, it says you have to do emoji.emojisize, which I thought that was an interesting verb. And then Python S hacia arriba, because that's Spanish. I'm guessing that's Spanish. I don't recognize this. Oh, here it is. It does say it's Espanol. It's automatically, it's English by default. So, oh, there it is. There's the English one. So you do emoji.emojisize. So yes, there's the example. We import emoji. So we import emoji. And there it is, because we installed it. The system knows about it. So where do I want to import my emoji and where do I want to put it? Right where I'm displaying things. So what should I get? Let's get a temperature emoji. How about that? And that means we have to find our emoji list, which was here somewhere. There it is. So do you suppose this has a search feature? Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. Thermometer. That's kind of a standard emoji. There should be one. Oh, I got 3 of them. I like that one. I don't think I want a face. That makes it look like I'm sick. So I'm going to grab that guy, copy and paste him. Copying and pasting is your friend. Oh, now I need to look at the documentation. Guess I need that in its own little thing. You do emoji.emojisize, and then you put just like I copy and paste. Okay. So I'm going to print. I do it here, don't I? Emoji.emojisize. Did I do that right? I think I'm in the wrong place, aren't I? Let me drag this over here where I can see what's going on. It's right after print. Oh, before the parenthesis. So it's over here. Before the parenthesis. There. Right? Oh, there's an extra parenthesis around it. Yep. So it's like that. Because emojisize is some sort of a verb that emojisizes this. And I want my little thermometer somewhere. Let's see, I'll put my thermometer out here. Now I paste in my thermometer. And let's see how cool that is. enter city, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, oops, US. Ooh, look at there. Now this is going to be, most of the time you can copy and paste emojis from like emoji websites, but they don't always display quite right. But it looks like this guy is happy. But it's another way. Oh, look at there. Isn't that one of our requirements, is to be able to go again? It is. So how did I do that? Magic. Any sufficiently advanced technology is magic. So we're going to say no. I'm going to exit. So when you're doing a menu loop, a good place to do it in this case, this is where we're doing all of our work. Oh, I don't have a main program, do I? Yeah, I don't know why I did it that way. Anyway, if you have a main program call, and you have a def main, which is what I should have done. If you don't define it, Python makes it for you. There you go. And we tab this over. There, everybody's happy. So it's while true, while true, while true, while true. So notice that when I want to do another location, I don't have to type Y and press enter. Everybody noticed that, right? Pretty cool. Okay, so this is what you do. You only capture N. If choice.lower equals N, which you always want to do, because somebody is going to type in a capital N. Some people type in capitals for everything. So you always want to make sure that you are catching anything weird from the user. Well, if it's not N, what are the other choices? Am I capturing enter? I'm not. They could basically type in anything and it would keep going. The only thing that exits the loop is if they type in an N. But I just put enter because then they know what to press, but I don't have to explicitly capture it. By default, they can type anything, but how do they know that? They don't. And it doesn't matter what else they type, it'll go back again. So N would be the exit condition. That's it. That's all it does is exit. It breaks the loop and we're good. So sometimes it depends on how you think about the algorithm. The solution to the problem can sometimes be simpler than you think, but that does take experience and critical thinking. And seeing it done somewhere else. I'm sure I did. I may or may not have ever seen this done somewhere else. I just thought, oh, I want the enter key. And I thought, oh, I don't have to capture 2 keystrokes. I just have to capture 1. And then everything else falls out. Well, how about that? That was fun. So how do you add another thing like I did here? Whoa, that's always interesting, isn't it? Because I've given it to you up to this point. Well, hopefully when you did the directions, you got your file like this, or you can look on their website. So how do you figure out, well, Owen said he got the longitude and latitude. Well, that's cool. Who doesn't like to know the longitude and latitude of places? Maybe nobody does. No? Not interested? Is there anything here you kind of made a face there? Are you interested in that or you just made a face?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it'd be okay if we did latitude and longitude. We could do any of these. Some of them are not useful, like COD, ID. They're just internal things. So yeah, another ID that means nothing. We could do sea level, ground level, speed degrees. We could do cloud cover. I think these 2 are specific, like internal stuff. Time zone, well, we're not going to go there. What do you think? Should we stick with latitude and longitude?
Yeah.
Yes, he says. Okay, in lack of anything else, we're going to say yes. Okay, that works. So longitude, how do we figure this out? This part right here, the whole thing, is what type of data structure in Python? What do we use that has curly braces? Dictionary.
A list or a dictionary.
No, a dictionary always has curly braces. A list has brackets.
Yeah, and they
Okay.
serve completely different purposes. I just used the wrong word.
Okay. And in dictionaries, how do we pick what we want out of a dictionary?
How do we pick?
How do we pick the entry? We have
Index.
dictionaries? Or are you thinking of lists?
I might be getting mixed up too.
Dictionaries use what's called a key value pair.
Oh
So
yeah.
if I'm going to get the coordinates, for example, I'm just going to type it up here. So we'll just say our dictionary's data, because I think that's what I did in the program. And then I would do, because that is the dictionary, then I do dot get chord, because that's my next level in, and I'm going from left to right. Everything in Python is aligned by what it is, depends on whether it's left or right. Now, how do I get this guy? How do I get longitude? Or do I use an index?
Yes, I don't understand the question.
The question is, I showed you how to get the coordinate part. So now we're over here. This is also a dictionary. This is a key. So how do I get these values? Or do I use an index? Does that help?
Mhm.
Because I'm working from left to right. Data is the whole dictionary. I want to get to this inside of coordinates, so I get coordinates. Now I've got the coordinate dictionary. How do I get the longitude?
Do you use another dot get?
I'm trying, yeah, that's right. I'm trying to find an example here. Yep. See what I did here? Dot get clouds, then get all.
Yeah, and I'm looking at self dot description.
Yeah, there it is. So I got clouds next, then I got all. Or anything that's there,
It's
you can have a dictionary inside a dictionary inside a dictionary, or a list inside of a dictionary, or a dictionary inside of a list. But you're correct, Joe. Dot get. Oh, have to have double quotes because they're all strings. There.
that's what you would call nested, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's our main dictionary. Inside that dictionary is another dictionary. Well, this is a good one. Example. This is, I don't know why they did it like that, just to make it difficult. So we have data.get weather. Well, this is a list, right? So I have no idea why they did that. Probably somebody decided to do that and they didn't want to change it. I have no idea. So from here, how do we get the first index of a list? Because there's only one item. No one's going like, pick me, pick me, pick me.
Yep, 0.
Well, we can't just type 0, can we?
No, we got to do more than that.
How about you, Owen? Go for it.
Brackets.
Yep. That's how you access lists. And you can remember that by this. Lists have brackets. So this gets me my first element. It is the only element. This list has one thing. No idea why they did it like that. And then if we want to access the description or the icon or just a single word description, which they call main, we can then tack on get main, for example, which would give us clouds, which would be a shorter description. This is not the most complicated API. Weather ones are usually like this, but it is more complicated than the ones we've started with. But I think also it helps understand dictionaries and how lists and stuff are structured. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, this is the part I need, don't I? I need this part because I think I called it weather data in my program. I could have called it data. I could have called it anything. Well, we go back to here because the first thing we have to do is get that information, and I'm just going to put it down here. So I have self dot, and we're getting LON, so I'm going to call my variable LON. And I called it self dot weather data. Okay. Dot. There. What did I do wrong? I didn't have it selected, did I? I dragged my mouse and something happened. There. Now we're happy. We have the longitude in our self.lon variable, which means how hard is it going to be to get latitude? How hard?
Not too
Oh.
hard.
What would be the quickest way to get it there, Mr. Eliza? Yeah. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Control C, Control V. Then we just have to change this to lat,
Yeah.
change this to lat. Anytime I don't have to type something, I'm in favor of that. Copying and pasting is your friend. Now, these two are variables that we can access anywhere in the program because they have what keyword?
Self.
Self. Self means it belongs to the class. We can access it anywhere. So I can jump down here to the display. Yeah, it's fine. No problem. So this is already set up kind of how I want it, don't you think? Well, I'm just gonna, I don't think there's an emoji for latitude. And then I change that to self.lat. Copy and paste. And part of what I'm doing to make this fast is I also know other shortcut keys. Like for instance, if you're at the beginning of a line, when you hold down your shift key, that allows your keyboard to do something that I always called extends your selection. So I can then cursor to the right and select this. Each time I cursor, I grab another part. And I've watched people try to, oh, let me start, oh gosh, it didn't, do that and take forever. Well, is this really much faster? No. But any movement key can be used in combination with the shift key. So if I hold down the shift right now and type the END end key, I've got it selected all at once. Copy, move down a line, paste, I'm done. Because notice where the cursor is. What happens if I press the enter key right now? Well, I have to copy it. There. That's why I do things so quickly. It's not magic. It's practice and shortcut keys. Add one shortcut key every other week, and before long, you'll be as fast as me. That's actually a song, I think. Remember, I used to sing it. I can hear the longitude. I can hear the melody and some of the words, but okay. Oh, and it already says self.lon. How did I do that?
Don't get
You changed it.
Longitude. There. That better. So we get the data here, longitude, and oh, I have them backwards, don't I? Well, usually you do longitude and latitude. All right. Let's see if I missed something. It says I have a problem. That doesn't necessarily mean you have a problem, and I don't. There's our line. I've seen our longitude and latitude enough times I can recognize that that's accurate. That's our Scottsbluff, center of Scottsbluff. That's the longitude and latitude. I know the longitude and latitude of my house, which I don't have it memorized, but it's not far from that. Google Maps will give it to you exactly. And what else will give you your latitude and longitude of where you live exactly? To the latitude and longitude, minutes and seconds and everything. GPS on your phone. If you can't find it in regular phone, there's all kinds of GPS apps. Well, did we accomplish all of our extra stuff here? Yes, I think. Well, I didn't add 3. Menu loop, create it once. And the program, I added emojis. Yeah, I did everything. And I added in how to update. PIP space list -O tells you what's out of date with your libraries. Oh, I probably better get rid of that if that's gonna hang around. And PIP space install space, whatever the package name is, space dash uppercase U. And so those would both be good things to have in your Ninja notes. Even the people online, if you're listening to this recording. If you're not, well, that's the way it goes. I think we're done. For that part. And that's really all I had, unless you have questions. What, Eliza, you have a question?